Darrell, clearly a tough week, really. What's the reaction been like of all the players over the last 24 to 48 hours?
Yeah, well, obviously Wednesday we were back late, so Wednesday was a day off. So today we'll regroup the lads. Not a positive last couple of games, but I'm one of those managers that I don't live in the past. If I lived in the past too much, I wouldn't even be here today. So we move forward. We move here with optimism. Let's reset ourselves and put in a good performance Saturday. Old Trafford was a really good experience. It was a tough night for us. We were nowhere near the standards, and obviously against a class team, so we moved quickly on, and all focus now is on Burton.
You've been very frank, very honest this week. Yeah, obviously something that we're getting to know into your assessment of games. Do you think the players will respond well to that? Clearly, some will play old carrot, some will old stick. Is there different approaches that you have to take in situations like this?
Certainly, yeah, always is. Players are individually different personalities, but what I will say with that is that we also have to understand what I'm trying to do here and what we're trying to do as a football club here. Okay, so the non-negotiables for me is what I've set. Am I harsh at times? No, I don't think so. I'm hard. I'm truthful, and if they want, this is no disrespect. I'm not here to mollycoddle players. We're here to win football matches. Simple as that. I spend every minute of every my day wanting to win football matches and want to do well for this football club. So players have to understand that. But you're right, they all need managing in different ways. I get that. I understand that. I have no problem with that. But make sure you bring your best to the games every occasion, and the non-negotiables for me are that. Can we have bad games on the ball? Yes. Can players perform badly? Yes. But there is a lot of non-negotiables that I like with my teams. I don't like us to be flaky. I think we've had a couple of performances this season in the first 10 games, shall we say, in cup and competitions where we've been flaky. My teams have never been flaky, so the lads have to understand that the non-negotiables are there and they're there to stay. And if not, I will be dishing them out. Simple as that.
Is this why it's so important to get the right characters into a place when you're building a squad and you're putting a team together?
Very much so, but we have the foundations of this club to have not only technically good players but robust players, and that's key. That is key. You've got to be robust. You got to understand when you're a Barnsley player in League One with a club that's a long history of being in the Championship. We have to get there, and you don't get there with flaky players. It's as simple as that. You have to have a certain mentality in the group, and you have to have a certain standard of quality in the group, but robustness is key. Listen, technical players, footballers should be technically good at. That's why they're pro footballers, but they've got to show the hunger and desire to give that ability the chance. And I'm massive on that. Don't just turn up with a ball at your feet. You get, I think, on average about 2 minutes with a ball at your feet. So what you're doing for the next 4 minutes, you better be working hard, winning your duels, running hard, high-speed distance, getting all of those things in to make sure that you're being what I think a top Barnsley player should look like.
So essentially no excuses for not turning up at Burton this week?
No, there's never excuses. I don't believe. Listen, I'll hold my hands up Saturday. I took Saturday on the chin. I'll always try and be honest. Do I always get it right? No, but I'll always try and be honest with you guys, the fans, and my players. And that don't always sit along with some people. They want, we talk about stereotype managers that come out with the same things. I'm a little bit different to that. I like to say it how it is, and sometimes people appreciate that, and then sometimes they don't. But my players understand that, and we got to do that at Burton. Like you said on Saturday, Saturday's a chance to bounce back. We're 7th in the league. It's a chance to try and get ourselves in the top 6 with 2 home games to go. I want to see a response from the team.
Yeah, and good points at Rotherham last time out. I know they're yet to win this season, but they're proving hard to beat.
Yeah, listen, they've got a good point. New group of players, a lot of transitions in the summer, new manager, trying to get that cohesion going. But for me, it's about our performance. It's about how we go and approach the game against a good possession-based team, technical team. We've got to go there and do what we're capable of doing. And like I said, I'm looking for a reaction from the players from what's been a disappointing few games.
You've lost Dean Whitehead from your coaching staff this week. Disappointed that his
Yeah, very much so. Dean's a great lad. He's a great guy, but also I understand. I understand that Stoke's his club. He spent a lot of time as a player there. It's an opportunity he couldn't turn down. You know, the club gets compensated, and I've got a good backroom team. You know, Conor Horan can step up to the plate. He'll be doing a lot more coaching. You know, Conor's come in, wanted to be more of a coach than a player. He's doing a terrific job at that. So we've got obviously me, Davers, Steady, and Conor, and we'll see how things develop there. We wish Dean all the best at Stoke and thank him for his efforts, but we move on quickly.
There's quite a few supporters asking about Conor Horan, the player, not just the coach, and how much he can add. Are we likely to see, I know it was kind of discussed that his time wouldn't be week in, week out, but I think some people expected to see him maybe a little bit more on the pitch already. Potentially his influence in the week could have had a little bit. Is that fair? And are we going to see Conor a bit more as a player?
Listen, I have regular dialogue with Conor. We obviously speaking every single day. Conor's passion now is more into his coaching than his playing. It's as simple as that. He was always coming in as more of a coach, you know, and that was the case when I sat down. We've had a conversation with him. I get that, and I understand the fans. You know, he does keep himself ticking over on fitness levels, but that's where he sees his passion now. You know, if his body is not as what it used to be. These are Conor's words, by the way, not mine, and we crack on with that. Conor's doing a terrific job on the coaching side of it. He knows the fans, he loves the fans, and we'll keep building that part of his career on now, and then he'll be used in games when he's when we feel fit and necessary, if that makes sense.
It does. Can you understand the disappointment and the frustration of some fans that thought the club had signed Conor Horan, the player, the 33-year-old, to add some experience into the mix, and maybe could have helped over these last couple of games where things were proving difficult to some of the younger players?
Yeah, no, I understand that. Of course I do. But you got to also understand is that, you know, I started the season in 10 games has been a solid start. Listen, we got thrashed by Man United 7-0. We played Vimal and Fabio, two 18, 19-year-old players through there. Vimal's a midfielder. You know, we got to get the balance right. We've got to look what the future is, yeah? Because Conor Horan's not the future. Conor Horan's future is being a coach. You know, I did mention it in the summer that Conor might play 10 to 15 games. He's had one start. We know he's busy doing those bits and pieces. So, of course, I understand that, because the Barnsley fans have seen Conor be obviously a fantastic footballer when he was last at the football club. But Conor's an honest lad. His passion's in his coaching. He's a massive asset for the club, and we'll see how the season pans out with that. At the minute, the midfield has good options. Some really good options in midfield. Benson's coming back. We've got John Russell. We've got Luke O'Connell, Matty Craig, Vimal, you know, so I don't want to stop obviously developing the club, so there is a balance.
One player that you did sing out for some praise, and then it was Miles Javigny. We talked to him after the game a little bit as well. What did you like about what he offered midweek and what you've seen so far this season from him?
Pure consistency. You know, he's never... in the games that he's played this season, he's been a regular. He's consistent. Makes the odd error now and again, but in general, I know exactly what I'm going to get from Mal. And he was the massive positive the other night, and he's been a massive positive this season. You know, in his second full season, I think it is now in English football, and he's had a really good positive start. So that's what I was pleased with.
What does he need to add more to his game now to kind of take him on to the next step?
Listen, I think he's doing brilliant. You know, he's got to continue to improve on that. And the next step is to making sure that he stays consistent, but also helps the team as well. So his focus is to do that. But I always say to the lads, if you individually look after your own performances, if I get 7 or 8 lads having a very good game on a Saturday afternoon, I've got a great chance of winning a football match. And Mal's had them consistency levels. Does he want to improve? Yes. Is he always doing extras in training? Yes. Has he got to look after the ball in situations better at times? Yes. But he's had a tremendous start to the season.
I wanted to check on a few players that haven't been involved as much over the last few games. Georgie Gent, is it just a case of he's just down the pecking order at the minute?
Georgie's, sometimes we play, sometimes they develop a little bit. You come into a football club. Georgie's a young lad. We brought him for the future. He played really well for the 21s the other day. He's had a tough start. I sat down with Georgie on a few occasions now. He's going to be a talent, and like all my players, you have to be at it in training, in matches, every game they play, and then they get they get an opportunity that you can see with the teams that have been picked over the last 10 games. There's a lot of boys who've had opportunities now. Unless you can tell me I'm wrong, they can only pick 11 players for a game, yeah? And there's always going to be, well, why is he not playing? Why he's not playing? So I have faith in all my members of the squad, but some players need to get up to the levels to be given more opportunities. But Georgie will find his feet. Of that, I have no doubt.
Is it a similar situation with Kelechi Nukali at the minute?
Yeah, Kelechi's a mile off a little bit. To be honest with you, at the minute, he needs to do what I've told him to do. Needs to get, fitter, more high-speed distance running. Nothing that I haven't said to him personally. Needs to get better in all aspects of it. But we've got to also understand he's getting back and he's adapting to the English game. So we'll keep working away with Kelechi. It's a strong area of the pitch, our midfield area, and competition for places is good in there, and everyone will play their part. But they've got to be at it every single day.
Just finally from me, Darrell, I know you won't give away any team news ahead of the weekend, but have you had any clarity on how long Donovan Pines is likely to miss? No, because he has to. We have to go through concussion guidelines on that, and he has to be tested and assessed every day. So we'll see how that develops. Thank you. Good
Cheers. Thanks. All right, Doug.
Burton, the style of play, they seem like they've changed it a little bit this season. Very attacking, break quite quickly, and throw a lot of bodies forward. Is that kind of the style of play you're expecting?
Listen, watched all of Burton's games. Also understand what we're going to come up against. Every team in this division has different ways of playing. The League One has you can go to certain teams where the physical stronger. Some are possession-based teams want to hit you on the counter, and Burton are a little bit different to one or two other teams, but similar to one or two teams we played already as well.
Okay. Obviously, as mentioned before, they've not won, so they'll be very hungry. I guess you just have to match that, I suppose.
I don't care what Burn have done, Doug. I really don't. For me, it's about us, my reaction, and our reaction. So it's about how we perform and how we play. The opposition at times, yes. Do we work the strengths and weaknesses? Yes, but we got to be about us. I'm not interested that they haven't won or anything like that. It's a game on Saturday, 11 men versus 11 men, and we'll try and win the game and make sure we're at it.
You mentioned flakiness a couple of times. Is that something that sort of some players just have and some players don't, or can you sort of knock it out of some people?
That's the aim, Doug. That's the aim. The ones that are flaky, and I've mentioned it in the change rooms. There is all right being a technically good player, which we've got at Barnsley. Not a problem. They're all good, technically good players, but what's under the bonnet? When I mean by that, what's in the heart? What's in the desire? So don't be flaky. There was a couple of performances this season. I won't say consistently, because I think we've had a solid start, but there has been some performances this season where we have been a little bit flaky and in game management and decision making and going through the motions a little bit when you're having a tough time, bad game. And I certainly don't class many teams as flaky that I've managed in the past, but you have to mould it into that. You have to mould them into exactly what I want, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time with certain individuals, and they either get it or they move on.
You've obviously praised the fans a lot for midweek and the numbers that they came in and the noise that they made. And you said at the time, was it a big motivation to repay the ones that go to Burton as well with something a bit better on Saturday?
Definitely. They're the reason why I get up in the morning, to be honest with you. I love working for football clubs with passionate fan bases. Yes, it can be challenging. You're going to get stick when things aren't going well. But I tell you what, I'd much rather work at a football club. We have a passionate fan base that are dying for success all day long. So I thought they were absolutely tremendous the other night. I think they've been tremendous since we've come in. I want a team, and I mean this sincerely, is I want a team that's always going to do this club proud. Win or lose, we have to have a way of how we go about things. And some players are getting that. It's dropping in nicely. Other players are not quite got that at the minute, but need to get on board very, very quickly. And that's always going to be my message.
Obviously, you conceded quite a few goals this week on Manchester United as a strange one, a bit of an outlier given how good they were. But you're obviously not happy with the defence. Is that something that's sort of worrying, or something you're hoping to can sort out pretty quickly?
I think the squad was worth £500 million, Doug.
Exactly, but I mean, obviously Stevenage as well, and conceding 3 there.
Yeah, but I hold my hands up second half of that. There's reasons for that. We didn't defend in the box. I hold my hands up for that. I have no problem taking that accountability. We lost Dovenan a minute before we went out at half time. So I know you guys, you like your negativity and you want to jump on your negativity and talk about stuff like that, which I don't have a problem about. For us as a group, it's about reacting Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, and obviously you were on a really good run. Only a couple of games, and like you say, Man United, they are what they are. So, but is it just important to make sure it doesn't become sort of 2, 3, 4 games?
Listen, there's always that fear here. You always know it's like, I think they've had negativity because we're in League One over the years. Let's put things into context, because I think it's important at times. So context is we're 7th in the league, okay? We win a win, and then we've got an away game, and then we've got 2 home games, and we're in the third round. That we got knocked out the third round of the Carabao Cup by Man United. So if you put that into context with a new group of players, by the way, a lot of those players in that squad didn't play their part last season. A lot of them, even though they was in the club, they weren't top 6 players last year because they didn't play. Okay, so when you put things into context, it's been a solid start. Simple as that. Yes, has the last 2 games been disappointing? Yeah, I get that, but you just got beat by Man United. My heaviest defeat as a manager. I'll tell you what, I'll probably take it at Man United away.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on the coaching staff, just to clarify, you're not looking for anyone else to come in?
See how things develop over the next few weeks. Like I said, Connor will do even more coaching now. To be honest, we will see how that step up works. I'm always assessing. No one sits comfortable here, not even me. I know that I don't anyway, but no one sits comfortable. So we work and we push each other, and we get to try and get the right answers for the solutions to the problems we have.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers.
I mean, you've obviously had to go down the thing with Farrell and stuff. You're blind towards the players at the league now. See how angry they are, and see what's in their bellies. So.
I think you're always, when you go into a football club, you're always trying to get what you want, aren't you? And you chase dreams. Yeah. You're always, and you're pushing for that. And I think the non-negotiables that I have for the players, the quicker they pick that up, some won't know. Some will fall by the wayside. That's the nature of the beast, and I get that. But also is, you want to give them chance to be able to.
Yeah, it's
for the penny to drop. So yeah, but you're right though.
Yeah,
players' reaction on Saturday's important.
You've got to be seeing you can only say so much, but you've got to be seeing the fire in their bellies and the anger, haven't you? Really, they've got to work it out themselves there.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing 2 games for us, but like I said, I'm not. Saturday was on me. Yeah, changes didn't work. It just didn't work. Second half, we didn't defend balls in the box. Man United, come on, it's Man United. The manner of our goals were disappointing, the way we conceded it. But players need to go out there Saturday with confidence.
Yeah,
well, it's important that my players. I always say this to players: that reset. Next game's next game. Can't play Man United again. Can't play the Stevenage game again. Yeah. But what we can do is we can set the fundamentals of what we want on a team Saturday.
It's almost as if a couple of, ugly, nuggety defensive performances, if you can get a couple of them out in succession, that'll go a long way in your sort of development almost, won't it? If you can sort of maybe do a couple of those back to back.
Well, you're absolutely spot on. I think you've got to find different ways of winning in League One.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to make sure your sleeves are rolled up and you're going to do the ugly side of the game, and sometimes it's not pretty and you pick up those results. Other times, a mixture of both, and you still got to play technically good football as well. But you certainly don't want to be known as, and I certainly don't want to be known as a flaky team that's got a soft underbelly, because I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate soft players. So that's what we need to stamp out of our game.
Obviously, every manager you do monitor what's happening in the free agent market. Is something like another defensive option? Could that maybe come into your thoughts if?
Well, listen, we've got Robbo, we've got Donovan Pines, we've got Mal, we've got Josh Earl, and we've got Colin McCarthy. It's an area where there's been a couple of performances, and it's not just the back line where we've been a little bit soft and flaky.
Yeah.
Not just the back line, trust me on that. It's not, because I watch and study the games. So, but also is I want to be conscious that it's been a solid start with a new group. So we build, and you only learn. You learn as you move along to see how players are going to react.
Yeah,
from a little bit of criticism from myself, see how we respond, and then time will tell.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Humphries as well. He got a cameo. How far you think he is from maybe being a potential starter? That sort of thing.
Well, the thing is it's a bit like Kelechi and Umps to a certain degree. Is that when you don't do a 6-week 7-week pre-season program, and we're expecting a player to be fully in full flow within 2 weeks. It just don't add up. It doesn't happen. It doesn't add up. So a little bit of patience is key.
Yeah.
Because they have to get their levels up. They have to be...
Yeah.
So, because otherwise what happens is they just break down. Yeah. And then they're out for another 4-6 weeks. Yeah. So, you have to trust in what we're trying to do there and bring them along gently.
I mean, that's the one when you sort of managers talk about managing minutes, and you've got to be so careful, haven't you? Because you can sometimes get it wrong, and then someone's out for 3-4 weeks or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you got to be very mindful of that and be careful that you are pushing them to the max, but not that they're breaking down.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers, guys.